Hello, everybody. It is Paul with reporting live from my sofa. How are you? I'm fine. Let's get into this. So, y'all, this is literally what nightmares are made out of. I mean, I just saw this today. It happened a couple of days ago. More information's coming up from it. But this, I mean, the picture, the story, the whole nine yards, this is real life Friday the 13th stuff here. This is a testament to how our mental health, the access to mental health care and treatment and things like that here in the States. This is Mr. James L. Jordan, who has attacked hikers on the Appalachian Trail, and I just wanted to start this off with his picture because it's just scary to help give us a mental image of what took place to this poor group of people. And now let's scroll back up to the top here. Please hold yourselves down. Don't get sick while the plane ride moves. So chilling details emerge in fatal machete attack on Appalachian Trail in Virginia. First things first, I mean, when I was growing up, Friday the 13th was the gig. I mean, it is what it is. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Chainsaw Massacre, all the originals. I used to, I mean, of course, there's brutal ways to get murdered, but a machete wielding man just always seemed completely horrifying to me. But just the way the story unfolds, I mean, I'm just like, because I love the Appalachian Trail. I love going hiking. And literally, this is just one of those things that I'm like, oh my gosh, I could see this happening. Very Deliverance, if you've seen that. So I'm just going to kind of skim through this. I mean, you can, again, if you want to get really in depth with it, I invite you to Google it and then come discuss it with me here in the comment section or on our Discord channel. So like I said, this is a 30-year-old guy. I mean, this is a young guy here. He was arrested Saturday following the deadly attack. This is in Wythe County, Virginia. And let's just go here. So he was known to the hikers who had previously seen on social media that he allegedly threatened hikers on the Appalachian Trail and a county in Tennessee in April. So, I mean, that's even more chilling. So it's like, why is this guy hanging, what is going on here? Why is he on this trail? What is he doing? How is he in Tennessee and over here? He was acting disturbed and unstable and was playing his guitar and singing when he was approached by the group, the complaint states. So later that evening, they made camp then within the George Washington and Jefferson National Forest, and he began approaching the hikers' tents and making noises, threatening to kill them, saying he was gonna, pour gasoline all over the tents and burn the people to death. I mean, this is disturbing. And just pause for a second here. If you're into hiking, if you're into national forest, I mean, this is a place where you realize, wow, there's a whole bunch of trees out there in the world. I mean, when you get out there and off the beaten path and whatnot, I mean, there's just a lot of nothingness. And there's a reason why these places are backdrops for horror stories and stuff. But now, surprisingly, and we'll get into this a little bit more here in a little bit, I mean, there hasn't been that many confirmed murders on these things, but still, it is obviously a great setting for a scary story. So anyways, this is back to our regularly scheduled thought. So he was threatening to burn their tents up, kill them, all this. Well, obviously they said, hey, you know what? This is not good. Let's leave. And they did. And so then he tried to approach them with a knife as they tried leaving the campsite. And two of the hikers chased him away. And this is where my imagination starts going. I can literally just see this playing out, where two of these hikers were, probably just annoyed with it, because you just never know. I mean, clearly this guy was off, but it's like, you know what? I mean, I've seen this numerous times take place, and whether it be, I can remember this guy who used to beg for money down in Fort Lauderdale at this one intersection. And he would come up, and I mean, he looked scary, and he would come up and really just do he knew what to do without getting completely in trouble. And what I mean by that is he would come up and like scream at your window. And first of all, he would do his thing to see if you would give him money. And if you didn't, he would scream at your window, act like he was going to kick your car, but he would never touch it, because I think he knew if he did that, that's when you could really, something might go down. And so, but I mean, he look like what nightmares are made out of. And he did what he could. So saying that, I don't know how I would react. I don't know if I would chase somebody off like that or what I would do, but I know I would want to get away from them. And again, I'm not sure how deep in the woods these people were. So let's continue. So two of the hikers chased him away, but then he allegedly returned and began stabbing the male victim in the upper body after they began arguing. The female victim ran away after watching the first victim fall to the ground, but Jordan caught up to her as she began to tie her, according to court documents. She then turned to face Jordan, raising her hands as if to surrender, and Jordan allegedly stabbed her multiple times. And here we're back at him again. My gosh. So she sat here, watched her friend get, sliced and diced by this guy, then obviously realizes, oh my God, this is really happening. I'm out of here. And that's another thing that I always think, imagine when your adrenaline's going and you're going and going and going and going, and you the realization of, I have to give up. I can't, my body can't go any farther. That realization of, I'm about to experience something so horrific, so scary, but I have to experience it because I just can't keep going. This poor woman. And this poor guy too. My God. And then she fell to the ground and played dead, and Jordan left to find his dog. So, after all that, it's okay, well, let me go off. So, and that's what I've always imagined. I'm always like, I would like to think that if I was in a situation like this where something was going down, again, I don't know what it's like to be stabbed or shot or anything, but I've always been like, just play dead. Just play dead. That's your best defense. If they have the chance to overpower you, to me, it's like, if you're gonna get killed and you can't come back at them or you've been injured, I'm like, just play dead and just see if they will go on their way or if they are just gonna keep going at you and just completely kill you. So let's continue. So the male victim was found dead at the scene. The female victim was taken to a regional medical center there in Tennessee. And now, hold on. I skipped over here real quick. So I'm sorry, I'm going to back up here. So he went to go find his dog. So once he was gone, she ran down the trail, found two hikers, and they assisted her for the next 6 miles. So, do you know how long that took? Not knowing if some guy was going to come out and try and kill all of you, gushing blood, knowing your friends 6-7 miles back. It's literally Friday the 13th come true. And so let's continue on. So, they received the first call around 2:30. The 911 received the first call around 2:30 a.m. And let's see, I'm just reading through this real quick. And so that's where they went to the hospital. They named Jordan as the man who attacked them. The victim's names were not immediately released. He was arrested on the trail around 6:14 a.m. Saturday. He had blood on his clothing when he was taken into custody. A knife was found near the deceased victim's body. A motive for the alleged attack is under investigation by the FBI's Richmond, Virginia division. Jordan was charged with 1 count of murder within the Special Maritime Territorial Jurisdiction of the U.S. and 1 count of assault with the intent to murder. During his appearance in federal court in Virginia on Monday, a judge ordered Jordan to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. Yes, please. And can we get let's biggie size that, please. Large fry, large Coke. Thank you. Now I'm just kind of scrolling through this. This is it. Now here's where we get to the history of these murders. And some of these I actually want to look into because they sound interesting. So the slaying was the first murder on the Appalachian Trail. Let's see. Since 2011, when hiker Scott Lilly, 30, of South Bend, Indiana, was slain and left in a shallow grave in Amherst County, Virginia. No one's ever been arrested in that homicide. The most infamous murder on the Appalachian Trail occurred in May 1981 near Pearisburg, Virginia, when the bodies of 2 hikers, both from Maine, were found in their sleeping bags. One had been shot 3 times in the face and the other stabbed repeatedly with a long nail. Now, they did arrest somebody in that double homicide, and they pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder. And actually, those murders were the subject of Murder on the Appalachian Trail by author Jess Carr. So, pretty interesting. And let's see, I mean, my goodness. So the guy who did that killing was paroled in 1996 after serving 15 years of a 30-year prison sentence, and he returned to the Appalachian Trail in May 2008 and was arrested for shooting and wounding two fishermen near where he killed Mountford and Ramsey. He later died in prison, which is where he belonged the whole time. So, I mean, my gosh. But I mean, that's any kind of tragedy is too much. But you would think that more of that kind of stuff would happen. But, also when I make the note about the mental health awareness and stuff like that, I mean, I just feel like, I mean, my gosh, like, what is the purpose? And maybe, I think sometimes I try, because I guess in my mind, I'm like, do a psychiatric evaluation. Now, that does not mean that I'm saying, oh, well, they came up with something, so it's an excuse. No. I mean, because clearly there's major issues going on here. I mean, if you're capable of doing this, there's some serious stuff going on. You're a danger to society. So, but I just feel like, my gosh, like, let's look for reasons to explore to hopefully prevent this from happening, to recognize signs. Because again, the whole story is just so creepy. And I want to do some more research on this, because I'm just envisioning this kind of, desolate trail off the Appalachian, in the mountains. I've been there numerous times, different parts of it, and just stumbling upon a really unbalanced person. And I'm just like, I mean, my gosh, what do you do? This is what happens, unfortunately, if you can't get away. So if you have not seen Deliverance, and if you do not know what I'm talking about, I don't know if I suggest watching it. It is probably one of the first air quote horror films that I saw that to this day just disturbs me. Now, I haven't watched it in years and years. I mean, it's an old 70s film, I think, or 80s. So, I mean, it's got some history, but it was so horrific, the story, and just because I guess it could be so true with stuff like this. So anyways, again, here's the name of the article there if you want to check it out yourself. I hope everybody's doing well, and until next time, keep those sofas warm until my next update. Take care.